Morning.
Tell us, how are you and how are the team doing after the weekend?
Everything is okay. Of course, was a difficult game for us and difficult afternoon. Of course, I analyzed with you straight after the match what was the feeling and the quick analysis from the game. And to be honest, after 48 hours or almost 48 hours, with more time to analyze and deeply, of course, is the same feeling. Football is about to be consistent, and one team that played so well during 30 minutes and was clear the best by far on the pitch. Football is about details and to be strong, ruthless, and clinical in both ends. And in that aspect, we were not so strong like the game demand from ourselves, because looking for our quality in the first 30 minutes of the game, you expect completely different things in terms of result. But football is 95 minutes at least, and that game could have been more. But again, finished the game. We had that afternoon probably or night to cry or to be sad. From yesterday, we were here to work to prepare the game, and we are going to do the same today and to prepare as better as you can. The game's coming thick and fast after the international break. Many players they were away. Many players they played 2 games in their international break, and of course it's up to us to assess the players. We did it yesterday. We are going to do the same today and prepare as better as you can a big game against Arsenal.
And is there any team news, any injury updates or anything ahead of tomorrow?
Yes, as I said, right now nothing really serious. Some knocks, normal, some tiredness from the game, but nothing really serious. We are going to do the same today. We have a session to assess them, and of course after to take decisions related with the game, with the plan and with our strategy today.
I know post-match you described it as a punch to the stomach to have to pick up and go again so quickly, but how do you do that? How do you pick everyone up and look ahead to Arsenal?
It's our obligation. Football is about game by game and different competition. We had and we showed the ambition throughout that competition that we wanted more, and to be honest, I think we showed the first 30 minutes that we were able to do it. After that, of course, was more difficult for us. We made some mistakes that at this level we are going to be punished by that, and for me it's clear the goals, the way we consider goals, and was clear for me. But just one way is to first to look for ourselves, to analyze as always, like we do when we win or not the games. The period is going to be short. We have to go quick for the next one, and the same situation. Trust on ourselves, trust what we've been doing. If the season was being great before that game, is not going to be one game that is going to hide everything that we have been doing so far. The club was in 3 years for the second time in the quarters final of FA Cup, and if you go back, you have to go many years back to see 3 years, 2 times in the quarters final, and even last season semi-finals. Just show for me progress. If you are in the position that you are right now in Premier League, just show progress as well, and I will not let no one to hide what we have been doing so far this season, because we lost a game. That is the reality. We lost a game that we wanted really to win. We had a chance. I told you that was an opportunity for us to grab. Now myself and the club, we have to analyze why the things happen in that way. Why in the moment so important for us we're not able to punish when we had the moments to punish as well, and to make some mistakes. But it's for me and for the club to take conclusions and to go ahead, to move forward, because we have so many big battles ahead of us.
Well, Arsenal being one of them, how do you assess the challenge that Arsenal pose tomorrow? What do you expect from them?
As you expected, they are there. Of course, they are not in the top of the table because Liverpool is doing so well, but they have been there trying to be as close as they can from the first position on the table. Of course, in other competitions like FA Cup and Carabao Cup, they were out. They were out too. They're still playing Champions League matches, but as you know, it's a top side, not just in terms of individual quality. They have a collective quality, and when you were playing less than 48 hours ago, they were not playing. They were preparing the game. They had all the time to prepare the game from the last international break to prepare the first game after that is going to be against us. When you are now assessing players, they aren't. Of course, they have this small advantage plus the home game that is always different than you play away from home. But we know their quality, you know their intensity, the physicality as well. Probably is one of the teams more physical in the league too. They like to press really high. They are going to create some problems for us, but we have to be brave enough to play our game, to be brave enough to face them and to match them, because there are 3 points there to fight for, and they are going to demand many things from ourselves. But I really believe that if you are at our best level, we have showed already that we are able to respond really well.
Julia from Liverpool.
Aye.
You do have a good recent record against Arsenal.
Yeah.
What will be key for you to getting something out of that game tomorrow night?
Many things they have to be there. First, we have to be a Fulham Football Club. That is the main thing. As you mentioned, our recent record against them is being very good. That shows that we have been doing very good things against them. It's not easy when you are already 3 games without losing against a team like Arsenal. Just show again what we have been doing so far the last few seasons, and how we have been consistent against a side that last seasons they have been fighting always to be champion in this competition, and we have been able to get good results against them. And again, we have, as I mentioned before, we have to be Fulham Football Club, and that means a lot of things. That means that we are brave, our courage is going to be there, of course our quality as well, our organization, and of course we have to be able to match their physicality that is going to be in the game for sure.
You talked about the fact that they didn't have a game at the weekend and you did. Do you prefer playing so close? I mean, it gives you an opportunity right away to react to what happened in the cup.
Is the schedule, of course, if you ask me, that of course is important for us to play quick, but probably not so quick. A game on Wednesday for sure is going to make much more sense for us in terms of recovering players and be ready to the next game and to have some time to prepare the game. The schedule was not in that direction, and of course we are here to respect it and prepare ourselves as better as we can.
It's the start of a really tough run for you as well. You've got Liverpool coming up, Bournemouth and Chelsea, all teams in and around that European chase. Have you set a target for this block of what you'd like to get?
Now we go like always, game by game, on the right time. We think in the next one. It doesn't make sense for us to be thinking about Liverpool or what comes after if you don't do well our job against Arsenal, and you are going to lose the focus that what is the most important for us is the next one, and Arsenal is all our focus on Arsenal. What we have to do, really look for ourselves, to assess the players, to see how they are. You are going to be, first of all, a fresh mind for tomorrow. That is the main thing, because was difficult. The last game is already gone, but we have to be fresh enough to face a tough side, and of course to assess the players how they are. If you have to change some things, you are going to change for sure.
And then I'd like to talk about Emile Rowe and how you think he's doing in his time at Fulham.
Some up and downs. Doesn't surprise us for a player that was not playing enough football the last 2 seasons. Of course, very good impact in the first months with us. Very good one. Pre-season impact. First games of the season, they were at very good level. After the second international break, he had a little bit of down. The December month was difficult for him. After that, he had some good games, others not so good. He needs to find the right consistency in his game to be able to perform at very good level in a consistent way. This is the main thing for us. I don't have any doubts about the talent, the quality that he has, but Premier League demands so many good things from you, because you have to be always first of all, in a very good shape. Physical point of view, you have to be always in your top, because Premier League will not allow you to play Premier League football week in, week out if you are not on your top level physical point of view, and it's something that we have been working with Emile. Of course, if you ask me, I would love to see him more consistent every single game, but not just him, it's about the team as well. He's one player that will not make a difference if the team is not. Of course, about him is something that is the step that he has to give soon. I hope really, because he's a top talent. He's a very good player. He's a player that I really like. He's a player that I really trust, that already had an impact. have an impact in our team, I really believe that impact in the future is going to be even more.
Thank you.
Ruben.
Hi, Marco.
Right.
We've seen a lot in the Premier League teams recruit taller, physical players. I think Arsenal, one of the teams, yourself, Sanderberg, which I've been in the past. Why, from a manager's perspective, is it going in that sort of direction?
The game, we all agree that apart from the quality in Premier League, that is higher, if not the highest in Europe, probably in the world by far, in my opinion. Of course, the game is very intense. The game is very physical. If you ask me, of course, I prefer to have a good player, just a physical player. But if you can combine both things, they are a perfect fit for Premier League. And yes, even teams that they are on the top of the league, you can see that is something important for them. Arsenal is a great example, but not just Arsenal. You can see it's not coincidence that even some moments you see certain type of teams play almost with 4 central defenders in the back line and all that stuff, and normal 2 midfielders. Arsenal is a good example, like Partey and Rice. If they are going to start the game, another 2 physical sides. Normal the striker, okay, was Harvard, but even Merino that is playing right now is a really physical player too. Okay, looking for the qualities is the most important thing. Doesn't matter if you are strong enough in terms of physical point of view, but if you can combine both things is really important, because the Premier League demands this from you.
And just on Saturday, does the heartbreaking situations like that sort of make you think that your team can sort of come back stronger and show that mentality?
No, we have been showing that. That is, I think, is being one of our image this season so far. The way we have been able to bounce back many times, we show that because we trust on ourselves. We know the quality that we have. Of course, we analyze as always the games. Was not in 1 hour. I think we threw everything away after 30 minutes at very good level. We did. We congratulate the opposition side last Saturday, and we move on. What we have to do now, related with last Saturday, is to work harder, to prepare ourselves better, if you want to move forward, to do certain things different in the future in terms of many things apart from the football match, to be able to repeat quarters final and probably to do things even better in the future. That's it. Now we have to do our best to bounce back. We have 9 games to play, big games ahead of us, big games for us to enjoy and to grab the challenge and to move on.
With how physical sort of Arsenal are, and only having 3 days rest is probably one of the biggest tests you could wish to have.
Yes, as I told you, of course, apart from the home game, that is always probably in Premier League not the biggest right now, because you see many teams away from home. We are a good example of it, that we have been able to be strong away from home, like you are at home. But okay, apart from the home advantage that they have a big one in terms of they didn't play the last Saturday or Sunday, and they had all the time to prepare, to recover players from the international break and to move on. But is not to go and to find excuses right now. We just have to assess the players, and the players that we feel that they are going to be in conditions, they are going to start the game. The others, they probably have to recover them and to do in a different way. That's it. Of course, we already play against Arsenal some moments when they play Champions League in the middle of the week, and that moment the advantage was for us. And if you want to play and to be in the quarters final or final stage of the cups, now will not make sense for us to be finding excuses or complain about the game last Saturday.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And a question about the Haiti.
Hi Marco.
Hi.
You've spoken already about Smith Rowe and his up and down season. Do you feel like game tomorrow against Arsenal, with it being his former club, could be a great chance for him to rediscover some form? He might have that extra bit of hunger.
It's not going to be because the game is against Arsenal that is going to be more anger or not. What's happened or the season from Emile so far is not about the anger or if he has more or not. It's many aspects on it. As I told you, probably looking for all the picture, the people likes to look more for the negative side of it. I myself as a manager, I look for the positives too. I can take many positives from the month so far. Of course, for a player with this quality, with this talent, of course, we all expected consistent. We all expected to see him have an impact every single game with the Fulham shirt. Probably played, I don't know, probably more than 20, 25 games already. We saw impact in half of them, but for a player like him, we expect and we want, and we are working with him to have much more impact in a consistent way, if I can say in this way.